What's going on, guys? Scott here with a very exciting engineer gameplay video. In this video, you'll see me doing all kinds of crazy engineer stuff, like placing sentries and hitting the sentries, and I think I even hit somebody with a Rescue Ranger bolt. I mean, this is gonna put Uncle Dane's videos to shame. I'm becoming an Engie main, and I'm going all out, and that's what you can expect. Okay, I can't even lie about this anymore. What's going on, guys? I just wanted to make a quick video to talk about my trip to Valve last week. It was pretty exciting. I never in a million years thought that I would actually get to go to Valve and hang out with the TF2 team. They gave me a tour. I actually got to go to lunch with them and just talk TF2, and I took a bunch of pictures. Or should I say, I took a bunch of pictures for me, who usually never really takes pictures, and they're kind of weird about the places that you can actually like record and take pictures and stuff. So I have a few that I will be showing through the video, but first I just wanted to get into it. I'm not going to do any like speculation or anything like that. TF2 team didn't give us any hints whatsoever. We didn't see anything. We just talked shop, and then Eric, the lead of the TF2 team, did say that they're busy polishing the update so that they don't have any issues like they've had in the past, which instantly made me think Meet Your Match, which was a giant clusterfuck for days after it came out. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So every year, me and a couple of the TF crew boys go up to Seattle for PAX, and usually Valve does not do tours PAX weekend because everybody's in town, everybody's trying to get a tour. But Dane was with us, and he went in January, and he emailed Eric like the week before asking if we could just stop by and check the place out and everything. It was me, Dane, Julander, and Pazer. All three have been there previously, so Eric was nice enough to give me a tour. And some of the stuff that they have, I mean, I'll show you a video of like the wall that they have in their office. It has everything. It has like every action figure, every statue, and I was just recording it. Like for me, I didn't plan on sharing it, so it's kind of shaky. But look at some of the stuff up there. Like, it's really, really cool. Which a lot of these pictures you've probably seen on the internet before, but I just wanted to share in case anybody hasn't. But this is the infamous Valve sign in their lobby, and if you get up close you can actually see achievements from all of their games. It looks super cool, and there's like it's like textured. You can actually see them on top of each other and everything, and it's really, really cool looking. And they have this giant Pyro painting, which, I mean, that's like an iconic Pyro painting. Then the Scout. I didn't take a whole picture of the wall. I just took a picture of the most important class in the game. It's me, ScottJAw, standing with the legendary Valve in the middle of their lobby. And apparently they're moving offices soon. So hopefully next year when we go up, we'll be able to go check out the new office. And I'm assuming it's supposed to be bigger, so they'll probably have a lot more cool stuff out there. Next up, the portal. I don't even remember which guy that is. It's Wheatley or... No, it's not Wheatley. I don't remember. I played Portal so long ago. Gordon Freeman statue. And then that's pretty much it as far as what I took from the lobby. Here's a heavy picture that was somewhere else in the office, and I just thought it looked really cool. They had these paintings all over their walls, and it was basically like either promotional art or I guess this was a lithograph, but they had it blown up, and it looked like it was on like a canvas type material. And it was all over. Like, I can only imagine having one of these in my home. Like, it would be the coolest thing ever to actually see that every day. Like, when you wake up to go to the bathroom, you just have a gigantic heavy. As far as the tour went, they took us through different areas of the office, and some of the places were actually closed off. Like, they were having a huge meeting, had no clue what it was, but we started to walk down that way, and then Eric was like, oh, well, we can't go down that way. Then they took us into the mocap room, which is where they put somebody in a suit, and they do all the, like say you're doing a shotgun pose for the in-game animations, and they had tons of props. Put a picture up of me with the atomizer, and that was the only Scout one I saw. They did have a giant size rocket launcher, which somebody took a picture of me holding. I don't know if it was Julander or Dane, but if you have that picture, please send it to me. Okay, thanks. And then after the mocap room, they took us in to see where audio work was done. We met one of the audio guys and saw his setup and everything. And I thought my Amazon foam padding was cool that I had on my wall to stop like reverb and whatnot. They have insane setups in there. Like this gigantic red foam padding on the ceiling and stuff. It was kind of insane. We saw him do his thing for a minute and then went over to this like giant room where they mix everything. It's where they work on like the Meet Your videos and stuff, or any other trailers that they have. And the room had the most gigantic mixing board I've ever seen. It was huge. They wouldn't let us take pictures. Somebody actually asked if they could take a picture, and Eric said no. But it was really cool to see. And interesting enough, I found out that they have all of their settings as far as like volume settings, frequencies, things like that, set to the same exact thing, so that if one engineer is working on something and then they send it over to another engineer, audio person, whatever you want to call it, nothing will be off. They won't have to do like too much post mixing to try to get it to even out, which if you make videos, if you record for YouTube or you do any type of music thing, you know that sometimes it's kind of hard. Like, you can go into your game and turn the volume down. If not, you're gonna have a raw file with like really loud music, then you have to change it in game, and you have to get your audio tweaked so that it all works out. So it was kind of cool seeing that on a large scale. It was just nuts to me because I, dabble in this stuff, but they're like freaking professionals, and I don't know, I liked it. Then they took us to the Foley room where all of the in-game sound effects are made, and they had tons of bricks and chains and stuff like that. So in-game, if somebody gets like punched against a wall and you hear a crack, they actually did it right there, and thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we just went around the building. They showed us like the different departments and stuff, and we actually ran into Robin Walker and like shook his hand and everything, which was awesome. We went to their cafeteria, which is loaded with like tons of free food for everybody. There were all the Valve employees just sitting around. We walked past Heather, the artist for like the comics and stuff, and then we ended up going to lunch and just talked shop with the TF2 team. It was really cool because we didn't really do the talking. We weren't asking. I mean, we found out like what people named and whatnot and what they liked about the game, but for the most part, they wanted to ask us questions, like what we liked. They actually asked if you could change one thing about TF2, what would you change? And somebody threw out random crits, but when they came to me, I kind of told them to remove the engineer from the game. And I was memeing, obviously, even though I would truly enjoy that as a scout main. But then I told them that I was kidding, but I really wasn't kidding, but I said I was. And I told them to fix the voting. If you click on one thing, like you only want to play Koth or Payload or something, when the voting pops up, you end up getting put onto a CP and you don't want to play it. So I brought that up. And then we went back after lunch and just, walked around a little bit more. Took us to meet the rest of the team. When we went to lunch, there were 4 of the team, but they were super cool. And apparently there are 2 people on the TF2 team that are such good snipers that they get accused of hacking. Like, people actually accuse them of hacking in the game, which I thought was pretty funny, because a lot of times when people develop games, like I know quite a few people in the video game industry where they actually work on games and stuff, and most of the time the people like their games, they play their games, but they don't love their games. Obviously some do, but it just shows that the TF2 team is like super passionate about the game because they actually play it and enjoy it, which is cool. I have a feeling I'm going to get comments in the comment section about, oh, fucking developers love their game. I'm not saying that, but like the people I know in the video game industry are super jaded after being in it for a few years. So when you actually see developers that are like really gung-ho about their game and actually still enjoy it, at least for me, that makes me feel happy, because I know so many people in the industry that hate it. So besides that, they gave us Balloonicorns. They gave people the CD, the soundtrack CD. I already had the vinyl, so I didn't take one. And then after that, we left the team. We went walking around a little more. Eric wanted to give people that have never tried a Vive a demo of it. They have like demo stations for the Vive all over the place. And I think Pazer might have been the only one to play. Pazer Julander. I have one, so I didn't mess with it. But they had all this really cool stuff in the, I think it was like the 4th floor. And one of them was this cow mangler carrying, I can't say this, I've never been able to say this, Grodbert, Gerber baby food. That soldier next to a sentry from Portal, and in the background you can actually see a boomer on the wall, which they had these silhouette paintings all over, and they looked super cool. And I guess they just started like painting them, so you can say, oh, meet me at Boomer, or meet me at Pyro, whatever. Then also in the same room they had the life-size sentry, which was super insane. Dane had a field day with that. And there's a picture floating around out there. I think it's the one that Dane did the Photoshop battle on. Oh, and then another thing, they have a hat wall in the TF2 area. They have a hat wall, which they have all types of different hats. You can't see because of the flash, and they have these like weird lights above it that you have to like move around and stuff. But I guess a fan actually made the masks from the Halloween, like the first Halloween event, which I thought was super cool. And then after that, we just took off and kind of went crazy the rest of the day talking about it. It was an amazing experience for me. Like I said, I never thought in a million years I would actually be at the TF2 office talking to them, like not just doing a normal tour, but actually talking to the TF2 team. It was super cool. And then obviously PAX was awesome. I got to see Grizzly Berry, Sleeping Bear, Miss Moth. Who else did I see? I'm gonna forget somebody. Kate, Multiverse Cafe, the amazing TF2 centric artist. And it was Dane's birthday like a week before mine, and then my birthday was the Sunday that I actually left. So they surprised us with a cake, and I was at the Guild Wars 2 party with one of my friends, so I actually didn't show up until like 11 o'clock. And I guess people were waiting for me at like 8. But I told them I was going out Friday night solo, and I felt really bad, but it was a beautiful cake. They did an amazing job. And all in all, it was a great time. This video is probably going to be really long because I'm just babbling. And I'm sure half of you clicked off already because it's kind of just a trip through memory lane with some mediocre gameplay in the background. But if you stuck around, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.
Sweet.